Chester, you are back with us, and we are still talking about Uganda.
May I interrupt only to say, it's so good to have you here.
Thanks a lot.
It really is. Thank you for your partnership, friendship, representing us. It means a lot. I just need to say that because this has been a benediction having him on the program.
And great wardrobe. You forgot, again, great wardrobe.
I'm struggling with jealousy, I must confess.
If you want the shirt, I can always give it to
you. Later.
Well, I know that Ugandans gave you that shirt to thank you for your hard work there. And one of the things you've been working on is agriculture. Now, for most of us here saying that we help people farm, there's just no context. What does it mean when we say we help people with agriculture?
Well, it means that we put the tools in their hands. In other words, we set up some infrastructure, seeds, tools, basic tools, like a hoe, like an axe, like a shovel, and like a rake. Basic tools, that's all they need. And we brought in mechanization, we brought in tractors. We shipped them here from Canada, from Crossroads, and those tractors have been plowing land. So the people are expected to clear the stumps off their land so that we can actually plow. But imagine trying to hoe 1 or 2 acres of land just with a simple hoe. That is a feat that many people cannot handle.
Yeah, we can see them trying to do it right here. Obviously, there's a lot of people.
That's
but
right.
Many times it's just one farmer.
And talk about transformation. You go from those images to that image.
To tractor plowing, exactly. Yeah. And so a tractor can plow an acre in an hour, in a couple of hours. And
by hand, how long? It
can take you it can take you half a month to do 1 acre.
Yeah.
Half a month. So they can only do. That's why subsistence farming is so limiting, and that's why people remain in poverty, because they cannot clear and cultivate enough land. So now with the tractors, it really makes a huge difference.
And what are we seeing? You know, when we say that we've been helping people with agriculture, so say I've been helped for 1 season, I'm in poverty, and I have my first harvest. What is happening now to my life that is so different?
Well, first of all, you know, the multiplication effect of planting seeds is for sure 100-fold, if not many more. It can even be 1,000 or even 10,000-fold. If you plant rice, an acre of rice, you can get 10,000-fold. I mean, and beyond that. So there's so much food that can be produced off an acre of land that once the farmer, the beneficiary, sells that food, and they'll keep some for themselves, of course, but they'll sell the balance of it. Now they have cash in their hands. So what can they do now? Now they can even rent another acre of land somewhere and pay for the plowing to be done. And now you see the multiplication effect. So now they have school fees, they have enough food to eat, they can buy their soap and their sanitary supplies, they can pay for repairs on their house, they can open up a shop, they can actually build a little store and sell goods. There's so many things. Basically, it opens up a world of opportunities for any family that all you do is give them a kickstart by some seeds, tools, and plowing an acre of land. And then during the second season, you plow the second acre of land. We've committed to 2 acres per family. That's all that's needed. And they do the work. We don't do the work for them. They do the work. We don't plant for them. They plant. They do it all.
And they are motivated. It's one thing. I remember interviewing this woman named Agnes. You know, she was suffering from poverty in the wake of the war, and she had her first harvest, and it was like a, what do you call it? A bonus harvest.
A bumper crop.
A bumper crop. That's what I was looking for. It's a bumper crop. And so she was able to sell a lot of that and make money. And you know what she did? She went and bought a solar panel. You know what a solar panel means in the developing world? You can charge your cell phone, and you can charge all your neighbors to charge their cell phones.
That's right.
She has a solar panel business. She bought a sewing machine. She has a sewing machine business. She fixed up her house, and she bought a cow. All of us, I know, and you know, this is what people don't get, is the entrepreneurial aspect of Africans. They've had to come up with ways to survive and make things happen with almost nothing. So if you give them a little bit, they're going to take a mile. They're going to run with that, and it totally transforms their life.
Chester, how is it different today than it was 5, 6 years ago?
Well, today, I mean, if you look at the transformation in Barlonia, for example, or even the other communities where we're working, we're seeing farmers now come to a level where they're actually coming together in a cooperative fashion, and they're talking about buying their own tractors. These are farmers that were not at 0 level after the war, but minus, maybe minus 10, 20, or 30 in terms of their poverty level. What happened was farmers now began to collect their wealth, their savings. And now as a cooperative, farmers are coming together and saying, you know what, we should buy a tractor. We should build a larger storehouse so we can sell. In fact, we have farmers now in northern Uganda that want to collect the grains that they grow, and they want to sell to World Food Program. Now imagine, from poverty just 6 years ago to growing enough corn to sell to World Food Program. And by the way, one more really wonderfully featured story that we featured on one of our other fundraising events here at Crossroads a few years ago was that during the Horn of Africa drought in, what was it, 2011.
Yeah.
Do you know that we bought corn and beans from the Ugandan farmers that were part of this project, and we the Crossroads brought it over to Kenya to do relief feeding?
How about that?
We bought it from the farmers that were at below zero poverty, and now they were selling to provide for their neighbors.
They're doing great, but how many farmers are waiting? Because when I was there last year, I interviewed a dad who had a number of kids, and he was hearing about what's happening, and he was so hopeful and so excited that he was going to be maybe the next farmer, if we had the funds to do the next round of farming. So how many people are waiting?
Well, first of all, there are so many people still waiting. In fact, we have not been able to address all of the needs. In fact, we're limited by funds, first of all, so we can only do as much as the funds allow us to do. We can't do beyond that. Secondly, our capacity. I mean, it takes energy and strength, it takes tractors. So without those resources, we cannot address those next families. So what we do is we pace ourselves. We try to do what we do well, make sure that families' needs are met. But there are hundreds and hundreds of families. Every year, we're trying to commit to helping 100 new families. And if resources allow, and remember, we were saying at $100 to kickstart a family, we can add another family to that mix. Yeah. So, for what? $100 times 100 families? What is that, $10,000? Yeah. For $10,000, we can start up another 100 families. And if we have the money, if we have the funds, we can do 200 or 300 families. And we talked to our partners and said, look, are you guys getting tired of doing this? And they said, no. We need to go beyond what we've done, and we need to reach out to them. There are many families that are still trying to hoe acres of land by hand, and we need to help them as well.
Well, let me do a shout out again to grandparents, Chester. We're going to be making a gift in honor of our granddaughter, Maisie, for $100, and there may be others of you that would like to do the same. And when you do that, you can call and you can tell our friends here at Crossroads, when you make your $100 commitment, say, would you send me the cards? And I would love to be able to send this to my granddaughter or my grandson and be able to let them know that they were thought of. As Chester mentioned earlier, what happens in this context is we send a message to our grandchildren very early in life that others matter, others that we may never see, but that we can help through our prayers and through our financial support.
And there may be somebody on your Christmas list that you don't know what to give them this Christmas, and you've been racking your brain. For $100, you can literally change the life of somebody living in extreme poverty. That is incredible. It's amazing. It always amazes me, Chester, how far a little bit of money goes in the developing world.
That's right. And it's like planting your seed in fertile ground. I'm a farmer. I know what it means. I'm not going to plant my seed in really poor soil, but I'm going to plant it in good soil. And let me tell you, folks, this is good soil. So please listen to what is being shared this today, and please just respond with your very, very best gift. Whatever God would lay upon your heart, please respond.
That number, 1-888-288-0003.